What's up guys, welcome back to my endurance series. Another video coming at you with something that I think is really important for us all to do from time to time. A lot of times we just get so deep into the details and we're training and we're going hard and we just don't stop and think about the big picture. So in this video, I'm going to go over a couple questions that we should all ask ourselves from time to time when we step back and look at the big picture and try to convince ourselves and everyone around us that we're not crazy. Okay, so the first question you should ask yourself from time to time is, what is my big goal? What am I pushing myself towards? I'm surprised by how many people don't really have a big goal. It's not always important to be pushing yourself towards something crazy and huge and something that's just taking up all your time, but it is important to have a goal. And when you review that goal, you should always be honest with yourself and review where you are right now and where you need to be to accomplish that goal. Be honest with yourself and figure out how far you have to go and is it realistic? And if I've never done an Ironman and my goal is to qualify for Kona on the first shot, that might be possible, but it's probably a pretty crazy goal. You have to be honest with yourself. Where am I right now? Where do I want to be and what do I have to do to get there? And write it out on paper. Is this a 1-year goal or is this a 10-year goal? And then once you review with yourself and those around you what your real goals are, it's important to honestly ask yourself if you are willing to do what it takes to accomplish that goal. So say your goal is to finish an Ironman or run 100 miles. You're gonna have to spend a lot of time working towards that. Are you willing to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning? Are you willing to run when you're tired? Are you willing to drive to the pool when it's snowing outside? Are you willing to skip those fun nights out on the town and just stay home and go to bed? These are real decisions that you're gonna have to make if your goal is that big. So you need to review with yourself if you're willing to do what it takes to reach this goal. And the second part of this, if you have a family or friends or roommates or whatever, you're gonna have to talk to them about this too. It's gonna affect them a lot. That's just how it is. Everybody's gotta be on board because it takes a whole team to do some of these things. The third thing you have to ask yourself is, can you handle failure? Now, this is not a fun thing to talk about, but it's a real thing that we have to talk about. What are you gonna do if you DNF? What are you gonna do when you twist an ankle and can't finish the race? How are you gonna handle it if weather cancels the race? And then, not even talking about the race, but when you're 6 weeks out and you've got a workout that pushes you to the breaking point, are you willing to go there? If you have a workout where you're supposed to run till you puke, or there's 25 miles on the schedule today, there are gonna be races that go badly. There are gonna be some of those days that push you to your breaking point. There are gonna be times when you get sick and you can't hit your sessions. So you have to ask yourself if you can handle failure, because it happens to everybody. And if you're not ready for it, it's gonna sneak up on you and it's gonna be a bad situation. Okay, sorry, that was a little bit of a downer, but I told you we're gonna be real here. Next question you have to ask yourself is a little bit more fun. Well, maybe it's not fun. Maybe this is just as much of a downer for some people, but you have to ask yourself, are you willing to learn what you have to learn? If you've never done one of these things, it takes a lot of research to put yourself in a mental place where you can handle things that get thrown at you and you're ready for challenges that come up on race day. And if you don't have a coach, you're gonna have to come up with a training plan on your own. That takes a lot of research and a lot of work to just decide on something and then stick with it, especially if you're in like triathlon and you've never done something like this. Like, there is so much information that you have to know just to pull off an Ironman. Ultras are a lot more like, put your shoes on and go. But back on topic, you're gonna have to learn a lot. So that's gonna mean picking a training plan, figuring out what this training plan's all about. If you don't have a coach, you're gonna have to read into it and learn, like, what's the point of this and why am I doing this and how do I use a heart rate monitor? And what are my paces? Just coming up with like routes to run or ride your bike. If you have to go for like a 120-mile bike ride, like, you're gonna have to get out Google Maps and study the crap out of that thing, or else you're just gonna be doing repeats on this country road out there. It takes a lot of time researching all these things that you gotta do in order to make this training even possible. And then we're talking about race day, there's so much that goes into the pre-race in the morning and getting your gear right and setting up, getting your wetsuit on. And like, I had to watch a YouTube video on how to put a wetsuit on. So there's a lot of people out there that I know, they're just not willing to put in the time to learn what they have to learn in order to pull some of these things off. So you have to ask yourself, Are you one of those people, or are you someone that is excited to learn and has the time and is willing to look things up and read a lot? And if you're not, you should just get a coach. And the last thing you have to ask yourself when you're in one of these off-season modes, or you're taking a break and you're stepping back in the middle of your season and just looking at the big picture, you have to ask yourself, how bad do you want it? Does your goal run through your thoughts every day? Are you constantly thinking about this? Do you wake up and your first thought is about your 100-miler coming up? Do you want this bad enough to look at the food you eat and say, you know what? I'm gonna say no to some things because I'm only gonna put in my body what is gonna help me on race day. Does the thought of this race drive you constantly? Does it fuel you every day? Is it something that you cannot stop thinking about? If the answer is yes, then awesome, you're there, because passion is what drives us every day. It's what pushes us forward to get out, go train, push our bodies to exhaustion, fail, puke on that hill if you have to, because you know that in 20 weeks, you're gonna be at 10,000 feet thinking, what in the crap did I get myself into? That's actually what I'm gonna be thinking. So if you want it bad enough, and you're ready to learn, those last 2 points are probably the most important points of this whole video. That's all you really need to start with. And you can pretty much do anything with those 2 things. So that's it. I don't think anyone can really do anything huge without having goals. And the people that are really gonna do well are the people that have each of these qualities in this video. So if you go back and you watch this video again and you write some of these things down and you can say yes to all of them, you've got the passion, you've got the willingness to learn, you've got the mental toughness, you've got the drive, I really think that you can do anything. I really don't think there's any races out there that you can't do. And we can do way more than other people think we can or would even give us credit for. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, leave a comment below. Let me know what you thought. Did any of the things I say like strike a chord with you or hit home, or something that you've really been focusing on recently? And if you go ahead and take some time and step back and reassess your goals, let me know what happened as a result of it. I'd just really like to know your thoughts on this. So leave a comment below, let me know. And that's it. So I'll see you again soon. Bye.